Hey, everybody. Two boys.
One singular brain cell.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Chuckles.
And today, we're going to sing along with the Animaniacs.
It's Yakko's world.
Now, this is a show that I've watched as a child.
Who's Yakko?
I don't remember.
Oh.
But I've definitely seen this.
I definitely have not. I didn't watch Animaniacs.
Yeah, I guarantee you once it starts, I will recognize it.
Okay.
But I've been wrong lots of times on this channel.
I like the big picture of the world, though.
Do you?
Yeah. It's the whole world.
It is. And it's actually the accurate world as well.
Yeah,
What a lot of times on maps, this is way bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Africa's way larger, than America.
North America.
North America.
And South America.
And South.
What's the...
This?
Yeah.
Antarctica?
It's that small?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought Antarctica was much bigger.
Unless that might be supposed to... No, Greenland's right there. Greenland, Iceland. I do feel like this is really far away from... Is it... Ooh, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay. Right.
Geography wasn't my strong suit.
Okay. Let's do this.
All right.
Shout out to Scott Punker.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Yakko Warner.
That's Yakko, right there.
Thanks.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman. Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium and Portugal, France, England, Denmark and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, and Borneo, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana. Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone. Niger, Nigeria, Chad and Liberia, Egypt, Benin and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya and Mali, Sierra Leone and Algier, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea-Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Myanmar, and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Crete, Mauritania, then Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
Wow, did he get them all?
I think there was a few missing comparatively to nowadays, but
Yeah, that's fair.
that doesn't matter.
Right.
It was fun, and
It was.
you learned something.
I did.
They say Burma,
I don't remember.
or
Said so many.
they changed Burma.
I didn't.
Burma's Myanmar. Myanmar.
I didn't know there was a country called Dahomey. But it's a sweet name.
I've never heard of that one either. Yeah, it is. There's actually, I feel like Africa has a lot of cool names in general.
That is a
like
sweet
they have, because all right. So I think it's mainly due to me just like in the States we do this. I'm sure every country does it to some extent. We rename all this. Like we have in Ohio. Okay, there's Texas.
Yeah.
The city of Texas. There's the city of Florida.
Kansas.
We don't know how to fucking name new things.
Nope.
We just name it things that are already things.
How
And then
about-
it makes it confusing?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
How about Bowling Green, Kentucky? Bowling Green, Ohio.
Kansas City, Kansas. Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they're right next to each
Oh,
other.
my God, dude. Yeah. So annoying.
Oh, New York City.
Yeah.
New York.
So I'm like, I don't really care if the name sounds weird. If it's different, it's actually nice.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's we do that so bad.
Absolutely.
Drives me bonkers. I wonder if other countries are guilty of that as well. Like in their, you know what I mean, localized areas, if they rename shit the same names.
I'm sure, like, maybe some of the provinces in Canada, some of the areas in Mexico, they're your bigger land areas. Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Because Russia's massive.
Russia's huge.
I'm sure when you get those massive land masses, because realistically, the United States, it's a big country.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're going to get a lot of repeats and unoriginal things.
Yeah.
So then you get countries in like Russia, Canada, Mexico. I'm sure they do a little bit of that. Maybe not to our extent because we are just an unoriginal people.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah, like half our names are from like other countries too.
Toledo.
Yeah. Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paris.
Ooh.
I think it's in Texas.
Paris, Texas? Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's wild.
Like, why?
Hey, New England.
Hey.
Like, we're good, dude. Yeah, I know we're running away from this country. Let's name it after it.
Yeah, why not?
It's like,
New Mexico.
New Mexico. There it is.
Real
yeah.
original.
Yeah. We were like, hey, that country and right next to this, let's just name it New Mexico.
Yeah, why not? North Dakota, South Dakota,
Yeah. Oh, man.
West Virginia, and
I was
Virginia.
gonna say any of the Carolinas. God dang, dude.
We are so unoriginal.
We are. Or it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Get your shit together, America. Is what is it?
If
Is
you,
what
if
it
you
is
tried
now.
to, if you tried to change it, yeah, people would be like, "What?
All up in a tissue.
I'm changing history." No. We're not changing history. Just going forward.
Bro, hey, you can't change sports teams' names
No
nowadays without
shit.
uproars.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, we might be changing this because it might be offensive. But since I've been born, that's been its name.
But let's be realistic. You could change the Oilers to the Titans and nobody bats a fucking eye.
No, yeah, because that was a shitty name. Nobody wanted to be named after fucking oil. Nobody, dude. They're like, okay, cool. We're supported by big oil, I guess, huh? Like, that's it. No, I want to be a Titan, Chuck. I want to be a fucking Titan
I mean, fair.
with a fiery T. Dude, that's my second favorite team. So you're barking up the wrong tree. Here.
Hey, no. Hear me out.
I've been trash for a bit.
I use that as my defense for why it's fine that Washington changed their name.
Oh, yeah.
Why Cleveland changed their name in
Well,
baseball? Because
it's
why does it matter?
No, okay, so this is the funny thing. Like, if you look at basketball teams and how often they go in and out, or even hockey teams, nobody really, like, it's sad when it happens, but it's not like the world fucking ended or something.
Right.
But we seem to really get fired up when it's racially charged.
Yeah.
Which is dumb as fuck. Like, okay, like if you were saying it because of any other reason, be like, oh, well, this just doesn't really fit with what we're going with nowadays, and we're going to change it up. Nobody's going to give a shit, or they might complain that you're changing the name if the next name's stupid. That's it.
If the owner came out and just said, hey, I'm changing the name because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I think people will care a lot less.
Yeah, changing, like, I feel like changing.
Doesn't make sense.
It was the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, and then
To the
like,
Guardians.
To the Guardians, right?
I love the new name.
Yeah, me too. It took a second. I didn't like it at first. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The reason
but
I love it is because it's rich in Cleveland history.
it is.
Now with Washington, they were the Washington football team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was boring.
It was boring. I didn't have a problem with it, but it was boring.
Yeah.
And then the interesting.
And now they're the Commanders, which kind of fitting because they're in D.C., Commander-in-Chief.
Yep.
I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of a pun to me than it is
a team name.
a thing, but
Sure. I think it's just bad naming. And when
Yeah.
it comes down to it, like the Redskins, I can 100% understand that there's like, it's confusing too when it comes to Native Americans because like there's so many different sects and they all have different beliefs.
yeah, some of them love it, some of them hate it. Some of them don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then you run into the same problem. Like the people, like the Native Americans that are for it, is it because it's like rich for their history or their tribe, right? Or is it because that they've been brainwashed by us? That's, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, oh my God, it's a hard topic in general. So it is easier just to change from it. But I like that Cleveland still kept it rich with, because the Guardians is still related to that, right?
Yes. So the Guardians, they have statues that hold up the main bridge going into Cleveland.
Yeah.
And they call them the Guardians. So they're named after the pillars on the bridge leading into the city.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's so rich with just Cleveland history.
Yes, and that's how it should be.
Team name's awesome.
And that's how it should be.
Just like the Cleveland Browns, named after Paul Brown, because Paul Brown helped, in the starting of the team. He was one of the first coaches, this, that, and the other thing. So they kept that, and it's rich with history there too.
Yeah,
just a lot of that stuff is awesome.
I did a group of college lectures, and this is what actually like made me a little bit more aware of the issues around with like the Native American teams and stuff. They use some of the examples of like, there's this group that's like actually is offended by people calling them Native Americans because they want to be called by their actual tribe. Yeah. And then you have some that are like prefer Indian, which is like wild. And that to me, I don't think I would ever use that, just because knowing for me, like that's from like when we first came over here, we thought it was India. We're fucking idiots.
Straight ignorance.
Yeah, 100%. And it was born of that. So like just me, like I'm not going to use it, even if I grew up using that and understanding that it's different and there's reasoning behind why it's different. That makes sense to me. Like, I
think the easiest policy to follow when it comes to a lot of this is when you meet somebody who is of Native American descent.
And that's so much easier.
Whatever they want, whatever they want you to call them, just call them that.
And it goes the same thing with genders and all that bullshit. Like, it's the same thing. Like,
if you want to be called her, him, I don't care.
Yeah, it's all being respectful to the person. It's easier when it's face to face, and that's the one thing. Whereas when you're building a team and you're trying to pay respects, or even like just trying to come up with a cool team name, it's a lot harder to play to a general audience where you have all these different opinions.
Right, and I do know that a lot of the team names they tried to base them off of warriors. Mm-hmm. So, because when you're playing the game, quote unquote, you're going to war.
Yeah.
So they want to be a warrior style name, and that's why they named them after the Native Americans, because they were warriors.
Yeah, because it was and then like the slogan was the chief, right? Was what's his
Chief Wahoo?
Wahoo, thank you.
In Cleveland, yeah.
And see, that's what kills me, because I grew up with Chief Wahoo, so like I loved it. But at the same time, like you said with the Guardians, there was a good rich history there,
100%,
and it makes sense. It's a decent name. Whereas like I don't think the uproar around the Redskins changing their name was all that crazy, because of it's obvious.
The only thing the only thing I didn't like about how they went about it is they just didn't have a name.
They didn't have a name. Yeah, they didn't have that prepped, which I get. Like it to me,
as soon as you realized, you're just like cut off, but you realized it long before that.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like it was funny because it really didn't bother me, because to me, it was like, that's a huge thing. So going with the generic, like giving you time, but then when they did come out with Commanders, you're like, oh.
And they're keeping everything else the same. It's the same colors. It's the same W. It's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like give me something a little bit more substance. Like give me an actual logo, and like, so it looks like a college team more so than it does a pro team. And
change your colors, completely re-scheme if you want.
Yeah.
You have everything open to you.
Mm-hmm. And we got slightly off topic here, but that was a fun little hole to go down in. You were like, fuck, we're in that.
Yeah.
I like that, though. No, the song is fun. It's, I think this is one of those.
We learned in its conversation.
Listen, I'm going to be honest, though. This is probably one of the few times the Animaniacs were educational. They were always bonking each other in the head. There was these two mice that were like fucking evil geniuses doing evil shit.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? It's a Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah. Obviously.
But I enjoy it.
Warner Brothers.
Childhood. I'm going solid A here.
Ooh. I don't have the nostalgia with it, but I learned some things.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy a little
There
bit.
you
I'm
go.
not going to lie.
Yeah.
And the way they presented it was in a fun, upbeat manner, which definitely extra bonuses there.
It's like if the Pokemon song was educational.
Right. I'm going to go with a 5.8 playlist.
Hell yeah, that's a good rating. Yeah, for me, this is just a childhood nostalgia, but also like it is educational. I'm impressed with it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Scott Punker for the little twist there thrown our way.
Nice.
We went from inappropriate to a kid's song.
Yeah. And it made us talk about more Native Americans.
Yeah, like we touched on a deeper subject
When songs do that, it's
in
wonderful.
a simple way.
Well done, Animaniacs.
Yeah.
You made adults think.
Scott Punker's had quite the refreshing take on
Yes.
this month so it's been nice.